I want to bring your attention to these bumps right here. They're for kicking off the micro switches, which go like this. And these two little spoon things at the back go on there. Except in this case, they are misdrilled onto the bracket here. The hole needs to be about 1/4 of an inch below that. Instead of being there, it needs to be probably about there. I'm not sure. I can't get in there with anything. So I may have to take the shifter out. But these little micro switches are stacked, and right here is the switch. There is a little push button switch on the switch itself. This is an extension. When that bump, these bumps right here, when they hit this, they kick the switch off, and that is how the switch knows, based on the position of the gear shift lever, when to go off. Well, in my case, they're completely misaligned. They have to go down at least, like I say, about at least 1/4 of an inch. And then right now, I believe it's in reverse right now. And that's going to have to be directly under that. So the panel that those are sitting on has to be re-drilled. So either the shifter's got to come off, like I said before, or may be able to do it there. Hope I can do it there. We'll see. Now, this is really cool. This is where a transfer punch really comes in handy, and there's nothing else quite like it. The switches are going to be stacked, and they have to be repositioned, so 2 holes have to be drilled and tapped. And it's close quarters, and it's just hard working on a console when it's installed, or a shifter rather, when it's installed. The console's not there because everything's out of the car in this particular instance, thank goodness. But if you had the seats and the carpet and all this stuff in the car, I don't see how you're going to get this done. Maybe by taking the shifter, completely out of the car. But this particular shifter is a mega shifter, and it's one made for truck. So it has an adjustable bracket assembly that comes off the floor, and you can make it quite tall. And I love them. They're perfect. I wish I had another one, but man, are they pricey lately. Whew. Anyway, transfer punch. The transfer punch is the same size as that hole that's drilled in those micro switches to be stacked. So all I've got to do is line up that one bump on my top switch, which in this case would be the one on the left, and that's going to be my reverse lamp switch. I've got to make it so that the holes lock the switches down when that bump is under that little spoon to tell the switch to come on. So they're normally off, then the bump comes and turns the switch on just for the duration of the bump. Now the one on the right is a neutral safety switch, the same thing. The bumps are longer, they're different than just the backup. The backup only has one, so if you get them mixed up, the top one, if you get the switches mixed up, it's no big deal. They're both the same. But you have to wire the top one to the backup lamps, because the bump in the shifter plate is what's going to hit the lever, the extension lever, and turn that micro switch on and complete the circuit, which turns the lamps on. And basically it's the same thing on the bottom one, which is a neutral safety switch, when the bumps are underneath the extension, the switch goes on and makes the connection and allows the motor to start or not. Transfer punches, you can't live without them. Yeah, this is just lucky that this is stacked and the holes have to be exactly, but once you have your hole and you find on this particular case, it's a 7/64 transfer punch, it's a thing of beauty. Hey, this thing is really neat. It's made by Milwaukee. You wrap it around your neck. It's LED. Let me tell you what. You wrap that thing around your neck and then you go underneath like an instrument panel. You see everything like daylight. Absolutely fabulous product. A little pricey going in. Gotta warn you. But I'm telling you what. This is the first time I've used it underneath the dash. That thing's around my neck. I don't have to hold a flashlight with my other hand. I don't have to do things one-handed. Oh, talk about save time. 2 hands free, 2 hands working. Can see everything like daylight. Absolutely fabulous product. Oh yeah, check this out. An unencumbered access to that panel. See those 2 holes? That's where the micro switches are going to mount. They got to be dropped down, but I can get to it. I don't have to take the shifter out. I might have to remove the cable. No big deal, one E-clip, it's out. Well, I got all ready to drill my new holes, and I was over top of it, and I noticed that the one bump for the reverse switch was underneath the extension, the little extension arm. I thought, what the heck? And so it didn't become that kind of an issue. I didn't need to drill, which was great. But what became the issue was the how far in the switch was in relation to the arm, because there was a point when it was too far and the switch remained on the entire time. So I had to move it back. And it was like an adjustment towards the shifter lever and away from the shifter lever. And I had to come away from the shifter lever a bit so that the switch would turn off. When I got that right, I tightened it down, went and tested it, A-OK. So I don't know how it happened, but it self-aligned itself, and I haven't tested the neutral safety switch. I got to crawl, jack the vehicle up, get underneath it, get to the S terminal on the GM starter, put a wire on it, run it to that bottom switch, run power to it, and then I'll have that. But I don't expect a problem. I think it's going to work great. But it self-aligned itself, which was very cool. I did not need to drill. And you don't need to tap because they come with small nuts, and those small nuts allow you don't have to tap. So all in all, it worked out well. Okay, we got our remounted switches, and we got them lubed up with some white lithium grease, and it's in park right now. So I should have power coming in, but no power going out. Now this is the top switch, which is going to be your backup switch. Okay, power in, we got that? We do. Power out, do we got that? We don't. Okay, that should mean that our backup lamps are off. Let's go take a look. Okay, if that's the case, then when we put this in reverse, our backup lamp should be on. There's reverse. Let's go take a look. So if you're going to install a new B&M shifter, save yourself some major hassle by making sure your micro switches are already aligned where they're supposed to be. Then you'll just have to connect your wires and go down the road into lover's lane, a turtle doven, instead of ripping your interior back out. I was telling Alexa, about the transfer punch. When you get it in the hole, the mark it makes in the hole is centered in the hole. So there's no misalignment. And anyway, she said, well, what can I do for you today? And I said, change the president.